The astrology of the summer solstice 2025, a chart that summarizes what's going to happen in the entire summer season, taking us from June 20th to September 22nd, 2025 at the fall equinox. Hello, my name is Eliane-Nicole. I'm your astrologer and tarot reader. And in this video, I am going to talk about the ingress chart of the sun moving to 0 degrees Cancer, which is the summer solstice, and all of the aspects that the sun is making in that chart, as well as the moon, because the moon is the sun's ruler, with the sun being in Cancer. And this snapshot of this moment of the ingress will set the backdrop of the entire summer season. Now, of course, the new moon of Cancer will come in, the new moon of Leo will come in, the new moon of Virgo will come in, and they will each fill in more details about their chapter of the summer. But this is the broad overview, so it's a great video to watch and chart to understand. Before I get to the interpretation, I just want to say, if you're watching this on Instagram, I'm only going to post the first 3 minutes here. The entire video will be available on my YouTube channel, Eliane-Nicole. My YouTube channel is my name, Eliane-Nicole. Please find me there. There will be a link in the profile bio of my Instagram to get to the YouTube channel to watch the entire video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Please like, please comment, please share. Even just a little emoji in the comments, it helps me in the algorithm. It helps me to grow my community and grow my channel and my business. And it puts me in a position to continue to give these free astrological offerings. If you're watching this on Instagram, make sure that you're following astrology.tarot.Eliane-Nicole. Please like, please comment, please share. Free for you, very helpful to me. And now, without further ado, I'm going to get into the translation of the ingress chart for the sun into Cancer. And so the summer solstice is always when the sun moves into Cancer, and 0 degree Cancer is when the sun is at its highest point of light in the year. The light is the strongest. And of course, I'm talking about the northern hemisphere. I read in the northern hemisphere. The majority of the world lives in the northern hemisphere. If you are in the southern hemisphere, I do believe the astrology still applies, because astrology is a symbolic language, and in that sense it's perfect. I live in Los Angeles. We never truly have a winter, but the archetypical representations of the changing of the seasons still work to understand the astrology and how it's taking place. Anyway, I don't want to go too much further into that right now, but if you are a person who is in the southern hemisphere and you would like a reading with me, I could talk to you more about how that works. And I read on Zoom, so I can read for people anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, and I would love to read for you. And so Cancer is a cardinal sign. Cancer is the cardinal watery yin temple of the moon. And so the cardinal signs initiate the seasons. Cancer initiates summer. And that's why each cardinal ingress chart, the Aries ingress chart in the spring, the Cancer ingress chart in the summer, the Libra ingress chart in the fall, and the Capricorn ingress chart in the winter, each tell a story of the entire season. They set the backdrop, they set the landscape, they tell what the overarching themes are. So with Cancer, we're always dealing with Cancer themes, right? Family, mothers, security, safety, privacy, emotions, memories, nostalgia. All of that can come up with Cancer. And this moon, as it comes in, the sun, as it enters, is immediately forming a sextile to Mars in Virgo. I did a whole video on Mars and Virgo. Mars and Virgo is a very productive transit working with the Cancer energy. And this Cancer Mars sextile is water and earth. So it's creative, it's fertile. We can grow things, we can grow babies, we can grow money, we can grow businesses, we can grow gardens with this energy. And so there's a lot of opportunity. This is a sextile. Sextiles are of the nature of Venus. Sextiles do not land in your lap. You need to co-create. You need to recognize the blessing to receive it. This is one of the reasons that I think astrology is great. If you know that this sextile is happening, especially if you have any planets in the early degrees of the cardinal signs, the early degrees of the mutable signs, the early degrees of any of the earth signs, or the early degrees of any of the water signs, this will be very much personal to you. But it is what's going on in the world transits, and so yeah, it's creative, it's fertile, there are opportunities for growth, opportunities for productivity, and opportunities to nourish our bodies in really healthy, great ways as well. Aside from the sextile to Mars, there is a square to Saturn in Aries. And this is a conflict or a challenge. It could be around work and home. It could be around just individual desires versus family needs. That's how it would present on a personal level. On a collective level, it's definitely related to war. When you've got, the sun in Cancer, this is a leader squaring off with Saturn. This is an Aries and Cancer. These are leaders squaring off. And then Neptune, the sun will hit the square with Neptune next. And as soon as the sun ingresses Cancer, it's in an applying square to the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, I still have to do a video on it. I'm kind of feeling like I almost already should have done a video on it. The conjunction isn't exact until February 2026, which is why I didn't do the video on it yet. But they are so close now this summer that the energy is already there so much. It's already happening. We're already experiencing it. So I think I do really need to do a video on it, but I'm going to touch on some of the characteristics of it here. But like I said, the sun squares off with Saturn. Those are leaders squaring off. And then the sun squares off with Neptune. And this is, this can be a lot of things. I mean, for one thing, I think this is issues around spiritual leaders, issues around religion, and I think, I think that this is going to probably be a big challenge for world leaders, certain world leaders. I didn't look at the separate charts of the separate countries, so I can't say who specifically, but in general, that Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries points to the wars going on in the world, the nature of the wars. And it really, honestly, as much as I love this ingress chart, and I do want to say that, I love this ingress chart. There's so much beauty and good luck and grace and love and joy that's going to happen this summer, that's available to us this summer. There's creativity. There's a lot of beauty. But there's also these wars that are happening in the world. And that Saturn-Aries conjunction, to me, it looks like this could be possibly, at least one of the wars that's going on could be a 14-year war. And So we kind of have to get used to that in a way. I'm not saying like numb yourself to it. I'm saying like think about what you can do to participate, like who you want to be, because the other side of the Aries energy is activism. And a lot of that Neptune and Aries energy is about fighting for a cause that's higher than ourselves, fighting for a cause that we believe in, whether that's a spiritual or religious cause, or it is, it can even be a humanitarian cause, because let's not forget Pluto's over there in the early degrees of Aquarius, transforming the world into this new world of AI and technology and space travel and driverless cars and all the stuff. That Pluto is working in harmony with Neptune. And so even though from an earthly plane it looks like, oh my God, this destruction, everything that's going on, this is so scary, the world as we know it is never going to be the same again, it's changing. All of that is true, but what the cosmos are telling me is that this is what's supposed to be happening, and that we need to embrace it and work with the new energies that are coming in, not try to hold on to what was, because it's gone, and this is a new era. And so, identifying what your cause is in this era is important, but it's also important to experience and have joy whenever, wherever we can. And, that's the Jupiter piece. Jupiter in Cancer is up there, wanting to deliver a lot of blessings, but in this ingress chart, still in a quincunx with Pluto and Aquarius, and a square with Neptune and Aries. And so Jupiter, the great benefic, is, wanting to deliver blessings and is delivering blessings, but it is tainted by the fact that there is so much fighting, so much conflict, so much military and police action going on. So that's all in the chart. So that'll, that will all be going on for the summer. But it's like, I've never, ever been a Pollyanna type of astrologer. I always tell it like it is, for better or for worse. Sometimes people have gotten upset with me about that. But when I see good things, I really want to talk about it. And that Jupiter in Cancer, if you didn't watch it already, go back and watch my Jupiter in Cancer video. This year of Jupiter in Cancer is bringing so many blessings, and we need to be present. We need to be in gratitude. We need to be in generosity so that we can receive this. But, in so many ways, I look at this astrology and it's like, these are the good old days. Believe it or not, these are the good old days. So despite whatever is going on out there, enjoy your time with your family, enjoy your time with your friends that are like family, build community locally aside from just online, because at some point in the Pluto and Aquarius era, I don't know exactly when, I have to study it a little bit more, but at some point we'll have a internet shutdown. Anyway, what else do I want to say about this Cancer ingress chart? The Saturn Neptune conjunction in Aries, for the collective, this has to do with, and in our personal lives, it will be to the, if it's hitting people's aspects by a degree. They're in the early stages right now, so early degree people may be feeling it the most, but it's dissolving of structures in our lives, structures that have been stayed and around for a long time that we don't expect to dissolve. It's also giving form to a new dream. It's also, why am I not remembering right now? Oh, it can be the 14-year war I talked about, holy wars I talked about, activism. It's map changing astrology. The map will change. The borders will change during this Neptune and and Saturn conjunction that's happening. Summer of 2025, perfecting, building, summer of 2025, perfecting, February 2026. So Jupiter in Cancer and the moon. So the moon in Cancer is conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. This is the best part of this. I mean, the sun. The sun! Sorry, I'm mixing up everything. The sun, as it enters 0 degrees Cancer, is conjunct. It's in an immediate applying conjunction to Jupiter, the great benefic, the planet of grace and good fortune. So this is a blessed summer. Summer 2025 is full of blessings. Let me tell you that. A lot of conceptions, a lot of new pregnancies, expanding homes, expanding families, a lot of coziness, a lot of that this summer. But that sun is quincunx Pluto, so adjustments need to be made around our families, around our homes, around our emotional landscape. We need to make adjustments to the new world that is emerging right before our very eyes. A lot of the old ways of doing things, of relating to each other, of living are changing, and we need to make an adjustment so we don't find ourselves in frustrating situations. Cancer likes to cling on to the past. And Pluto in Aquarius is saying, no, we need the future. The future, is important. And that Pluto in Aquarius there's a yod with Mars in Virgo, the Sun in Jupiter. And so the yod it's an aspect. It's like they call it a finger of God. It's 2 quincunxes in a sextile. And so Mars in Virgo is sextile the Jupiter Sun conjunction in Cancer. And they are forming a yod to Pluto, pointing the finger of God at Pluto during this summer solstice chart. And so Pluto is in the demolition process of demolishing the systems and the structures of the old world as we know it, so that new systems and structures can emerge and be built. Pluto is currently retrograde as the summer solstice ingress chart happens, so Pluto is in the process of going back over the first 3 degrees, doubling down on the new technologies, the new inventions, AI, drones, driverless cars, space travel, robots, all of the new technologies that are developing, the advances in medicine, but also, humanitarian crisis is what's represented by Pluto, I think, in these early degrees of Aquarius retrograde. So Mars in Virgo is sextile the Sun and Jupiter. And so we have an opportunity. There is some grace here for us to create a really beautiful ideal for the future in this new world, and think about that, set intention around that. So also, because the sun is in Cancer, it's ruled by the moon. The moon at the ingress chart is the waning crescent in Taurus. Now this is important because the waning crescent moon energy then is going to be in Taurus, is going to be present for the entire summer, even though the moon is going to continue to change signs every 2.5 days like it does. This ingress chart, again, it summarizes the entire season. And so this moon has important messages for us about the entire summer. The waning crescent, the moon is losing light. And so this is not as much energy. This is maybe not feeling like going out as much, maybe feeling like staying home and being cozy a little bit more. This might, the waning moon in Taurus, you may be finding yourself eating less. You might find that you are letting go of some luxury items or comforts this summer. Maybe that, you know, and there's also a lot about, you know, maybe saving money or spending less money. And for the collective, it looks like, you know, potentially food shortages, you know, in general, the market looks volatile. It looks like there's downturns. It looks like there's, you know, I mean, another thing about this chart is that Uranus is hanging out at the 29th degree of Taurus. This is an urgent degree. Uranus is very rebellious in this degree. This is rebellious around money, around food, around the environment. This is uprisings. This is rebellions. This is a volatile market. This is a very bullish market that then may crash or have some quick shift as around July 9th as it goes from Taurus to Gemini. There should be some big shakeups, particularly around things like cryptocurrency and digital currencies, new technologies, AI, large language models, things like that. And so, yeah, the moon in Taurus is exalted, and so that's nice, but it's losing light. So, you know, there's a sense that we are dealing with some difficult things. We are dealing with maybe needing to tighten up in certain areas, but still, the overall message is blessings abound. And so, look to the house Cancer rules in your chart. Yeah, the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are all, you know, they're forming sextiles to each other. They're having harmonious interactions with each other. So it tells me that this new world that's being born, as afraid of it as many people are, this is what's supposed to be happening. And this really is an evolutionary push that's for the betterment of humanity. We are being asked to evolve our consciousness, to evolve our bodies, our eating, you know, our minds, just the way that we live in the world in every different sector of society. We need to rise to the occasion. The old world is gone, the new world is here, and opportunities are all around us to interact with it in ways that are going to build a really beautiful future for us. And so if you would like to see where all the action is happening in your chart and look to where you can be co-creating with the universe for a more ideal future, then please contact me for a reading. Again, I read on Zoom, so I can read for people anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. I would love to read for you. And yeah, you know, again, I touched on a lot of things. These are broad strokes. It's not by any means a comprehensive view of every single thing that's going on, but I did try to touch on a lot of the main aspects that are going on and give you the overview of what's happening over the summer. But definitely go back and watch my Saturn in Aries video, watch my Neptune in Aries video, watch my video about the nodes on the Pisces Virgo axis, you know, watch Venus and Taurus. All these videos will fill in the picture, because all the planets represent different psychological aspects within us. They represent different people in our relationships. They represent different events that may unfold in our lives. They're operating on many planes simultaneously. So having an understanding of your chart can just like open your mind and your awareness so much. And so I look forward to hearing from you. Have a wonderful summer solstice.